in Reservoir, for our community house, our neighbourhood house, we're starting up a little cafe as an extra project. We have a community garden, and our cafe will also, we're trying to be zero waste when it arrives. So it's due next week, and I'm excited about it. But it's we're going to set up a training program. We've been given some funding from some great organisations to set up a women's training program. So work a lot with people who are experiencing homelessness, or have experienced some family violence, or come from disadvantaged or backgrounds where they're feeling a little bit like their self-worth and confidence could do with a boost. So we're looking at a training program to put people, especially women at this point, through the hospitality, retail sort of side of things. So work in our cafe and build up to then say, well, actually, determine what they'd like in their future, not from their past. So we do lots of different activities. We do a lot in food relief. So, people are struggling because bills are expensive, and there's no judgment. Literally, people are in circumstances out of their control, and sometimes that happens. And so we say, come in and we'll support you with food relief. We might support you with referral services. We've got a lot of play groups that happen just to bring people together. We do a Women's Health Day. We do a community festival where we get over 1,000 people in the park, and all the activities are free. The food is free, the event, the whole event, the raffles, everything. So it's organised by community to give back to community. Such a fun event, I love it. We have a community lunch as well that we do once a month, and that's based on bringing people together to say, come in and see us. Literally, don't sit at home. Come rock out and hang with us and talk to us about things, meet new people. And that's often, often organisations will give us funds. We've got beautiful people out there working in these amazing organisations that will support local. And that's what we're after, because when you support local, it changes the communities. And so the community lunch we've got soup days, which are amazing. People will just come in, and community members will have cooked soup. Beautiful hot soups for people. We have a bakery that gives us their leftover bread 3 times a week, and they just literally bring it in. They put it in our big bread bins. It's amazing, like beautiful breads, fresh breads. I love it. So we're lucky because we do a lot of work as well with an organisation called Food Bank, which are based on the other side of town, but we have Rotary Club of Preston. They're amazing with us, and every fortnight they drive a truck down, pick up our order, bring it back, and then people help us unload, and then they take what they need. And people take what they need. We don't tell them what they can have or what they can't have. Literally, people are really respectful, and if they're wanting something like fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, pastas, maybe they want some staples, sometimes there's animals, dogs and cat food and things like that, they can come in and ask us for that. And then while they're there, we can say, well, actually, have you thought about doing something else in your neighbourhood? Have you thought about doing an activity? Or they might speak to us about, well, look, I'm having an issue with my, where I live, or I'm having an issue with my family and things like that, so we can guide people to the right services and support. It's really great.
I was lucky enough to go there and actually see it firsthand. It's a real eye-opener. Like, you don't really talk about people that struggle and have, mental health and have disabilities and harder things in life to deal with. And you don't really understand it until you go there and you see it firsthand. And it was a real eye-opener for me. She just does tremendous work that means something. And she really helps a lot of people.
Luckily, a few years ago, we were recognised as a charity. So we have the charity status, which means that we are tax deductible. So we can now take donations from philanthropic, from business. So, we're supported by a lot of different businesses, and we're always looking for that extra bit. We've just started, or we're in the process of starting, a lunch program with the local school. so that we can get parents involved in helping us make these amazing, beautiful hot lunches that then we divide up and are free for, kids who have maybe forgotten their lunch, or, they've come to school without lunch. They've had no breakfast, they have no lunch. So there's something that the school has already pre-prepared for those kids, so they can say, you know what, it doesn't matter. The school's about equality and we're all on the same level here, and here's something to eat, and here's something, and here's your books, and so we've got lots of different options. The neighbourhood houses, and our neighbourhood house in particular, are funded partly. So the rest of the money we have to find. In Reservoir, we've not really got enough funding to meet the demand, which I think a lot of neighbourhood houses struggle with. But we never let that get us down, and we never let that defeat us, because we're very creative and savvy with how we use grants, how we utilise money, donations, those sorts of things. And we're lucky because we run low cost and we don't have a lot of red tape. So if community are telling us, if people in our community are saying, we want this, or we'd like to be involved in this, or we want to achieve something amazing, then we have the opportunity to say, okay, we'll help you with that. It's really great. To get into this kind of work, because there's a lot of jobs and opportunities going in neighbourhood houses, and micro businesses as well. Neighbourhood houses are big on creating business for community members. So if you have an idea, and you can take it to your local neighbourhood house and have them say, okay, what does that look like, and how can we help you? And maybe we could get a grant for you to be paid to, do that idea if it's something for community. We've got we have a lot of people that come to us and say, hey, we'd like to start a business or something in this area, but we don't know what to do and how to start. And if it's community driven and they're all about giving back, then it kind of evolves into bigger things. So at the moment, for work in this field, a good place to start is community services. So TAFE courses are free at them, which is great. Thank you. Didn't used to be like that. I pay for mine. But now, so we've been able to partner with another organisation to say, hey, look, can we have a certificate in community services delivered at our neighbourhood house? So it's in a community setting, it's really friendly, we're involved, so you can see every day while you're studying what community services looks like. And once you've got that, it then can roll into other things. So that's a great place. There's lots of courses about starting and beginning at neighbourhood houses and how you grow from there. Literally our values are about social justice, inclusion, participation, and those things where it's determination. So not only do you participate in your community, but you get to determine what your community looks like, and inclusion is for everybody. So the neighbourhood house plays a big part in that inclusion, and we don't judge anybody we're not there to judge, we're not there to tell anybody off. Everybody can come in at any point and say hi and contribute or not.